I'm here with my buddy Philip Williams, and I'd like to encourage you to watch the Phil Williams Show, and you can go to patriotinsights.com.
All right. Appreciate you.
Oh, yeah.
It is that time for my response to a tweet. And today's tweet comes from our ever so popular Trump or Trump supporter, whatever. But anyway, tweet says, "It was awesome to hear from Trump on Memorial Day and not from you. That's what will make America great again." It was awesome to hear from Trump on Memorial Day and not from you. That's what will make America great again. And I take it the you he's talking about is myself, moi, Phil Williams. And he just thought that his fearless leader just made something very magnanimous or just something so awesome on Memorial Day. But this is how I'm going to respond to this tweet. Reading this tweet, it kind of brought something to my spirit, to my mind, and my thoughts when it comes to Memorial Day. And listening to Donald Trump on Memorial Day, it was amazing how ignorant and dumb and narcissistic and ridiculous this dude is as a presidential candidate for, I don't know, a chess club or somebody that just names rocks or something. I mean, this dude is not qualified to be the president of anything. I don't know, other than racketeering and probably some bullying or whatever, how his company survives. But anyway, I digress. One of the things that popped in my mind reading this tweet is what we overlook on Memorial Day. First of all, Donald Trump makes the asinine statement that it's our day. It's not our day. It's the troops' day. It's the veterans' day. It's the people who have died in combat for America, because of America, with America, as Americans, and they died. And it's their memorial. It's not our day. It's their day. Another thing that pops into mind when I'm listening to Donald Trump speak is he's speaking at the place where they're honoring the missing in action, the captured. And this is the same ridiculous individual that said he doesn't like soldiers that get captured. He likes soldiers that don't get captured. And he's speaking at this event. And you just think it's so awesome that he's speaking. But here's the biggest thing that kind of comes to my mind. What do we not talk about on Memorial Day that we should consider, especially with this dude wanting to be the commander-in-chief? We never talk about the individuals that sent our troops and the rationale and the reasoning behind them sending our troops that we're memorializing on Memorial Day. We talk about the troops that died and things of this nature, but what about the mentality and the psyche of the ones who have the job of sending our troops? This right here, for anybody that loves our troops, anybody that understands our military, this should be the number one disqualifier for Donald Trump. Out of all the millions of soldiers, men and women that have died in uniform, who were the people that sent them? What was their thought process? See, whether you want to admit it or not, whether you like the response or not, over 90% of all of our military interventions around the world is in response to something. We don't typically initiate a war. We tend to respond to it. This is what happens through all the presidents. George Washington all the way to now our President Barack Obama. We're in response mode. Now, you can be all nitpicky and say, well, America started it, America should have been there. You can do all that stuff, but let's not go down into the weeds of that foolishness right at this moment. Well, I don't even say foolishness because I don't want to discredit your thought process, but that's not where I want you to be at right now. The mentality of the young man or the woman or man that's in the office or whatever, we haven't had a woman yet, but the mentality of the president that sent our troops. The mentality that they have when they respond using our brave men and women for the response. This is something that needs to be considered on Memorial Day, especially now that we're trying to elect another president. What in the freaking world is Donald Trump's mentality that he's going to use our men and women to potentially respond to? This dude is ridiculous. He responds like a playground 11-year-old. And you want to give him the lives of our men and women as the commander-in-chief? He doesn't even understand that Memorial Day is their day. He thinks it's our day. He thinks he's saying something so brilliant and brave. But it's totally off course, especially for somebody that thinks he wants to be the commander-in-chief. He's ridiculous. Well, he's going to use our troops, what? Because he doesn't like what the media says? So he'll respond with our military? He doesn't like what a foreign leader says? I mean, what are we putting our young men and women's lives in? When Memorial Day is here based on what? The response of a president. Our military doesn't go to war on its own. We ask for our presidents to have of sound mind and body and make some kind of rational sense, because we are allowing them to not only have the nuclear codes, but we are allowing to have our most prized possession, our sons and our daughters, as his or her response team. What in the world could we possibly get into with a Donald Trump? This dude is so juvenile. Would you give a 7th grader the ability to use the military to respond to whatever they're tripping on? This dude wants to go build a wall. What if the drug cartels don't want him to? He wants to deport everybody. What if they don't want to be deported? He wants to keep all Muslims out. What if they don't want to stay out? They got family here. They travel back and forth. See, are you guys thinking? What if he thinks the woman is ugly and the woman doesn't think she's ugly? What if the woman that he thinks is ugly, husband doesn't think that she's ugly? And he wants to come and smack Donald Trump in the mouth like he thinks he can smack everybody else. Is he going to use our men and women to respond to that? Is he going to go to war over this man's thought process? His number one responsibility as commander-in-chief is just that, commander-in-chief. That's his number one responsibility as the president. On this Memorial Day, when you're listening to the biggest hypocrite liar cheating our troops and our veterans right now, you're listening to this dude on Memorial Day, doesn't even understand what it means. And you really want me to believe this is the most qualified to have the lives of our, look at your sons and daughters of military age right now. This dude might have to implement the draft to go over there and make sure his ties keep created in China. This dude is starting a war every time he opens his mouth. A civil war and a war abroad. This is what you need to think about on Memorial Day while you're honoring our fallen. And in all fairness to all presidential candidates, I don't think we should hold them accountable for what they've done for the troops. I think we need to be listening to them for what they're going to do with our troops. I don't care if Hillary didn't vote or donate anything to the veterans. I don't care if Ted Cruz donated, or I don't care. We should not care what a candidate does for our troops. Once we start doing this, it opens the door for pandering. Then they can throw some money somewhere, get your votes like they care. We should not care what they have done for our troops. We should be thinking of the mentality of what they can do with our troops. And thinking like that, you got to be back done crazy to think Donald Trump should be the commander-in-chief of our brave men and women. He's not brave enough his damn self. He's just a old white dude that talks too dang on much and would love for civil rights to be rolled back and live in America that he thought was great, where he can walk up and down the street and be a rich bigot racist. That's who Donald Trump is, and that is not a commander-in-chief. Hey, I'm Phil Williams. That's my response to a tweet on the Phil Williams Show.